Welcome to the course on the management of commercial banking, which is going to be offered in the coming semester. The objective of this course is to understand and explain various issues related to commercial banks, and all these issues include broad functions of commercial banks, regulations of commercial banks, bank performance measures, valuation of the bank stock, the different type of risks faced by the commercial banks, asset liability management, management of lending activities, investments, liquidity, bank capital and off balance sheet activities. More specifically, this course will provide a comprehensive understanding about the management of various risks such as credit risk, market risk, operational risk, liquidity risk faced by the commercial banks. Further, in this course, we will discuss about the asset liability management of commercial banks and different approaches or different methods used for asset liability management like duration gap, dollar gap, etc. Different loan pricing models will be discussed, and the investment strategies what the banks always use to maximize the return in the portfolio, that also will be discussed in this particular course. And a comprehensive analysis of management of bank liquidity also will be discussed in this particular course. Because the liquidity is a major concern for the commercial banks, it is very much important to understand that how the liquidity of the commercial banks is measured and what are those different ways this liquidity risk can be managed, or we can say that what are those different strategies the commercial banks can adopt, whether they can use the assets or they can use the liabilities to manage the required amount of liquidity in the banking system. And another thing is, in today's context, considering the importance of the different non-interest income activities and interest income activities, we will also discuss about what are those different sources of non-interest income and non-interest expenses of the commercial banks, and as well as the different type of off balance sheet activities what the commercial banks nowadays use for the management of assets and liabilities. Mostly if you see that the commercial banks nowadays using the different type of derivatives instruments like options, futures, swaps and different kind of structured products. So, all those things how the commercial banks are using to manage their risk, that is also part of this particular course, and as well as the mechanism what the commercial banks use for foreign exchange management, and as well as the different financial guarantees and the trade finance. These are also the part of this course. So, overall if you observe, the course has different modules. The first module will discuss about the basics of the commercial banks like the functions, like regulations, like performance measures, and as well as the different type of measurement of the risk. Then in the next module we will be talking about the stock valuation, particularly the bank stock valuation and the fixed income securities what the commercial banks use and how to evaluate those assets, and as well as we will also discuss about the different measures of the risk. Then further we will go for analyzing the different methodologies or different methods, different strategies what the commercial banks use to maintain a balance between assets and liabilities. So, overall this course will give you a broad idea how exactly the commercial banks work and how as a banker we can understand the mechanism of the commercial banking in an actual sense. That is the basic objective of this particular course, and this is the way we will try to understand the different mechanism with respect to the risk management and other activities of balance sheet activities what the commercial banks basically always use. After going through this course, the participants will get a complete knowledge, complete idea about the management of the commercial banks in terms of risk, in terms of the pricing of the loans, investment management, liquidity management, or balance sheet management, etc. And this subject is useful for the people who want to make their career in the finance and who wants to always succeed in the area of the banking, and as well as the other people who are working in the banks, they can get also the updated knowledge about the different kind of development which are happening in the banking sector with respect to the Basel norms and the different advancement with respect to the risk management process in the commercial banking area. Hope everybody will enjoy this particular course, and it will be always discursive, and as well as we can say that provide you the or enrich you the idea about the recent development which are happening in the commercial banking sector. Thank you.